fat. No, if your body's not recovering after that workout, you're slowing down progress.
Okay, so we want to eat about an hour before, a healthy combination of the carbs, a little bit of the fat, and then we definitely afterwards want to put something in there and reward our body for the hard work that it's done for us.
But don't stuff yourself.
Don't stuff. Okay.
And hydration is key too.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Replacing the fluids that you lost during that exercise through sweating.
So do we drink beforehand or do we drink during and afterwards?
All three.
All three? Okay, great advice.
Water intake should be steady throughout the day.
Okay. The other thing is how hard we work. And what they don't talk about on some of these late night infomercials, they're getting you inspired to work, but now we've got them. I grew up in the era where it was no pain, no gain. Now I know that's
Completely.
Yeah, that's
the
not advocated by the health professionals now. But a lot of people still think that. They think if they're not pushing themselves and they're not hurting, that they're not making progress. What would you say to them?
I mean, you have to have some type of intensity where you want to break a sweat. You don't want to just jog through a workout and say, okay, I'm done, and then go on with the rest of your day. But at some point, you have to listen to your body. If something is happening where you're doing an exercise and your arm starts to hurt more so than just some soreness, you may have to think about, oh my God, something's happening. You may need to, excuse me, talk to a doctor or some health professional and make sure that everything's okay.
And of course, then there's always the person who thinks they can work through the pain, and even if the muscle is throbbing or the ligament seems to hurt, or you have that
I'll
tightness.
see them in the office the next
right?
day.
You like those people,
exactly.
right? Keeps you happy. Now I have to talk about some of the new trends that we're seeing, and of course with the younger generation, this whole Wii Fitness thing is like a new trend. Is that good for them because they're doing something, or is it bad because they're not doing what we did when we were all kids?
But with Wii Fit, if a person's going to be playing a video game, and if they're going to be sitting down and just exercising their thumbs, all right, versus standing up with the Wii Fit, something like that, and being more interactive, getting some movement, I'd rather have them do that than just sitting down and just moving the thumbs around. But the problem I have with that is that they're marketing it and promoting it as a way to get fit, as a way to increase your fitness. It's not necessarily going to do that, but it will give you some activity.
Okay.
I think it's a good component. The other thing with Wii Fit, I think, is good, especially with the adolescents. The fact that now the trend is that people are becoming obese, the kids itself are becoming obese because they're not doing a lot of activities outside and playing around.
And they're eating those French fries.
The fact that kids like playing video games, if they can do some sort of interactive video game, it's better than just sitting at a computer and playing with their thumbs.
Now, I mentioned the French fries, and I say that, half-heartedly joking, because literally the younger generation is having more of a problem with obesity, not only because of their lack of activity, Heather, but also because of poor diet choices. How early can we teach our kids to eat right?
You can't start too early, and the importance of being a good role model as parents, as adults, is critical because they're going to look and see what their parents are eating. They're going to eat from the foods that are within that household. So parents really still have a lot of control over what food is available to their kids. Making those healthy choices available is half the battle.
Do you love it that now, like a lot of the fast food places are offering up more healthy choices? You can get the bag of carrots as opposed to the bag of fries these days. When I was a kid, you never had that choice. Don't you just love it?
A pack of sliced apples and a milk is a much healthier Happy Meal than we had 10 years ago even.
Absolutely. One last thing I wanted to talk about, because everybody is always trying to flatten their bellies. I don't care what age you are or how good you think you look or how badly you think you look. The middle, that spare tire is always something. Love handles always bothers people. Heather, there's something out called the AB diet, that you're supposed to eat certain foods and it will reduce that particular area. Any truth to it?
No, not at all. You cannot spot treat certain areas by eating specific foods. When we lose weight all over. And the only way to lose body fat is by creating that calorie deficit, where calories in are lower than calories out.
Okay, so would that work for fitness as well, to say, okay, well, I'm just going to work on my problem area, my stomach, my hips, my legs, my arms, whatever, or do you have to work the whole body?
You have to work the whole body. These are misconceptions and myths that never die. You cannot spot reduce. However, you can spot produce. Okay, with weight training, you can increase muscle size and change your shape. Okay, as for when you asked about the flat abs, one of the things that's really wrong with that is the lack of focusing on the obliques. A lot of times they're always talking about crunches and working the abs, but really what makes the waistline smaller are your internal and external obliques. So it's twisting exercises that pulls the waistline
So
in.
if there's an ab roller or a ball or anything that takes me both front and back and sideways, should we go with that?
You should incorporate bending, twisting, but it's all rotational movements. Any kind of crunch will not reduce the waistline.
Okay, and
So,
finally,
sorry. go
and,
ahead.
well, I was going to say, because we're almost out of time,
Okay.
but you, I think, gave us great advice when you said you have to listen to your body. We shouldn't push ourselves too much and end up hurt, right?
It's very important to listen to your body. Even before you start a program, you may want to consult with a physician or health professional and make sure that everything is okay before you really start.
All right, great advice. I feel like I'm all inspired to go out there and just keep working out as hard as I can and treat my body well with the good foods. David, Fernando, Heather, thank you very much for that great advice, and thank you all for joining us. If you have questions or comments, you can email me at tcn_IYC@comcastnetwork.com. Until the next time, have a good one.